Nobody warns you about this part. The part where you finally get what you wanted and still feel something missing. That's where Arjun's story begins. Arjun has been waiting for this key for 2 years. 3 jobs, 2 breakups, 1 spreadsheet of savings he checked more often than he checked his messages. He used to lie awake picturing this exact moment. The door, the key, the light coming through a window that's finally his. Today, the landlord hands it over. Small brass key, slightly warm from someone else's pocket.
This is it.
He says it out loud, to no one, just to hear it exist outside his head. The apartment is empty. Sunlight on bare wood floors, a window that actually opens. He stands in the middle of the room he has imagined for 2 years and does the thing people do in moments like this. He waits. He waits for the feeling to arrive the way it always did in his head. It doesn't come.
Okay. This is the moment. Feel it. Feel it.
I'm trying.
You got the apartment. You got the thing. Where is the feeling, Arjun? Where did you put the feeling?
I don't know. I thought it would be louder than this.
He sets his one bag down in the corner. The room echoes slightly, too empty to hold a sound for long.
Maybe it's the furniture. Yeah, it's not real until there's furniture. Once there's a couch, you'll feel it.
Sure.
He doesn't believe that. Neither does the silence.
We worked so hard for this. 2 years, Arjun. 2 years of no's before this yes.
I know.
So why does it feel like a Tuesday?
Outside, a bus passes. Ordinary sound. Arjun looks at his own front door from the inside for the first time in his life and feels nothing he can put a name to. He pulls out his phone, opens the photo he took of the lease the day he signed it, looks at the date, does the math. 731 days of wanting this.
731 days.
He says it like it should mean something heavier than it currently does.
It will. Give it a night. You're just tired.
He isn't tired. He knows the difference. This is something else. A quiet that has nothing to do with sleep. He remembers the version of himself from 2 years ago. The one who used to walk past this building on purpose, just to look up at the windows and imagine which one might someday be his. That version of him would not believe this room right now. Standing here, key in hand, checking his phone for a feeling instead of just having one.
You'd be thrilled. You should be thrilled. Why aren't you thrilled?
I don't know, Brain. I really don't.
He sits down on the bare floor, back against the wall, in the exact spot he always pictured a couch going. There is no couch yet. There is only him, and the room, and the gap between the two. He doesn't call anyone to share the news. He's not sure what he'd say that wouldn't sound smaller out loud than it did in his head. That night, Mind shows up. Not invited. Mind never is.
You got what you wanted.
I did.
How long did the good part last?
What good part?
Exactly.
Don't start.
I'm asking a question.
You're always asking a question. It's never just a question with you.
When was the last time something you wanted actually felt like enough? Not the planning, not the chasing, the having.
Brain opens its mouth, closes it, opens it again.
The new job. First week. Felt amazing.
How many weeks did that last?
It's feel...
And then?
And it was just my job.
The relationship before this one. The first time he set it back. How long did that feeling stay the size it started as?
That's not fair. Circumstances change, people change. You can't compare.
I'm not comparing. I'm counting. Every time, Brain. How long?
Brain doesn't answer, for once.
The car. Remember the car? I wanted that car for a year.
How long did you notice it when you drove it?
A few drives. Then it was just how I got to work.
The vacation last spring. The one you saved for 8 months. How many days of it actually felt the way you imagined it would?
The first day, maybe. By day 3, I was checking flights for the next trip.
That's normal. Everyone does that.
I didn't say it wasn't normal. I said it was a pattern. Those are different things.
Brain shifts, uncomfortable, looking for solid ground.
Fine. Any small things fade, but the big things last. The important things.
Name one.
Take your time.
The raise 2 years ago. That mattered.
Long before the new number just became the number on his account, he stopped noticing it.
A month. Maybe less.
Mind walks the empty apartment slowly, the way someone walks through evidence at a scene.
You've spent 2 years feeling the absence of this place. One day feeling the presence of it. And now, already, you're feeling its absence again, just from a different angle. Wondering when the good part starts.
It's depressing.
No, it's a pattern.
There's a difference.
There we go.
Your brain didn't malfunction in that room today. It did exactly what it's built to do.
Which is?
Reset. Whatever you have becomes the new normal almost instantly. And normal doesn't register as good. It just becomes the baseline you measure the next want against.
There's a phrase for this. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation, the mind's habit of returning to the same emotional resting point, no matter what arrives, good or bad. The feeling fades. The floor stays the same. Mind doesn't lecture this, just lets it sit there, plainly, like something that was always true and never said out loud.
They do that to protect him.
Protect him from what? He just got the apartment. There's nothing to protect him from right now.
There's always something coming.
Not an answer. That's a reflex.
It's what c'est faire.
Is it? Or has it just kept him moving fast enough that he never noticed whether it worked?
Silence. Mind doesn't push further. Not yet. Just lets that sentence sit in the empty room, with the rest of the echo.
There's always something coming.
He repeats it quietly, like trying on a coat that might not be his. He thinks about the spreadsheet, the 2 years of no's. He wonders for the first time what the spreadsheet is actually for. Saving towards something, or running from something. 6 weeks later, the apartment has a couch now, a rug, a framed photo Arjun still hasn't leveled. Brain has a new plan.
The promotion. That's the one. That's the real one.
I thought the apartment was the real one.
This one's bigger. Trust me.
Arjun works the next 6 weeks like the outcome owes him something personally. Late nights, early trains, a version of focus that looks a lot like fear wearing a tie. His friend Priya notices first, catches him checking his phone for a reply from his manager during her birthday dinner, twice, without realizing he'd done it either time.
You okay? You've been somewhere else for like a month.
Oh, I'm fine. Just, there's this promotion thing.
You said that about the apartment too. You said once you had the apartment, you'd finally relax.
This is different.
Is it?
He doesn't have a real answer. He changes the subject instead, the way people do when the question lands somewhere they'd rather not look. Some nights mind tries to interrupt the momentum.
You remember what happened with the apartment.
This is different.
You said that about the apartment, too.
This time, it's bigger. Bigger has to work.
That's not how it's worked so far. Not once.
Then maybe this is the exception.
Arjun doesn't have the energy to referee them. He just keeps working. The email arrives on a Thursday. Subject line, congratulations.
There it is. This is it. This is the feeling.
Arjun reads it twice, stands up, sits back down.
I got it.
He waits for the room to feel different. The room does not feel different. Same couch, same unleveled photo, same Thursday light coming through the same window.
Give it a minute.
A minute passes. Several do.
It's not coming, is it?
It has to. We did everything right this time. We did everything bigger.
This is the moment brain has no answer for. The thing that was supposed to finally be enough arrived exactly as planned and changed nothing inside him at all. Arjun opens the email a third time, like rereading it might unlock something the first two readings missed. It doesn't.
Maybe I'm broken.
You're not broken. You're just tired. It'll hit you tomorrow.
It doesn't hit him tomorrow either. This is when future Arjun appears. Older, quieter. He doesn't sit so much as fold himself into the silence already in the room, like he's been waiting in it.
I remember this email. I kept it starred for 3 years. Why? I thought eventually I'd open it again and finally feel what I was supposed to feel the first time.
Brain tries to recover, defensive again, but smaller now.
We just need the next one. The next promotion. The next place. The feeling's out there. We just haven't reached it yet.
That's what I told her too. Told whom?
Future Arjun doesn't answer right away. What he does, it isn't raised. It's flat. The way true things sound once they've stopped trying to convince anyone.
She used to ask when I'd stop chasing the next thing long enough to just be in the one I had. I kept saying soon. Once this one thing happens. One day, she stopped asking.
Arjun sits with that. The apartment, the promotion emails still glowing on his phone, none of it filling the quiet future Arjun just put in the room.
What happened to the job? The bigger one. I got an even bigger one after that. Then another. I'm very good at getting the next thing. And I have a very impressive list. And an apartment I've upgraded 3 times. And nobody who stayed long enough to watch me move into the third one. Doesn't any of it count for something? It counts. It just doesn't add up to anything you can sit in. You can't furnish a life out of finish lines.
He says it without bitterness. That's what makes it land harder. Not a warning, just a report from somewhere Arjun is still on his way to.
I didn't lose her in one bad moment. I lost her one Tuesday at a time, waiting for a feeling that was never going to arrive by mail.
He's gone before Arjun can ask anything else. He's never there long, just long enough to leave the closet behind him, like a coat someone forgot to take. Future Arjun is gone, as quietly as he came. Mind is still there. It always is, in the end.
What?
I want to ask you something I don't think anyone's asked you before.
Fine.
You let one good thing just stay good? No next target, no upgrade, nothing to chase right after it? What are you actually afraid would happen?
Nothing would happen. That's the problem. Nothing.
Say more about that.
If nothing happens, then there's just me sitting there with no job to do.
And that's bad because
Because I've had a job since the day he was born. My job is to make sure the next thing is coming so he never feels like this is all there is.
It is all there is. Right now. This room. Tonight. That's not a failure, Brain. That's just what's true.
I know. That's exactly what I can't stand.
Brain doesn't answer immediately after that. For the first time tonight, it isn't performing certainty.
If I stop reaching for the next thing,
It stops. Starts again. Quieter.
then there's nothing left to do but sit still. And if I sit still, I have to actually look at how much time has already gone by.
say that again.
Chasing isn't about the apartment or the job. It's never been about the thing. It's so I never have to stop moving long enough to notice the years going by beneath me.
Mind doesn't mock this. Doesn't pounce on it. Just lets it land the way true things should.
You've been keeping him busy, so he wouldn't have to feel his own life passing.
Meow.
That's not protection, Brain. That's avoidance wearing protection's clothes.
I know that too. I think I've known it for a while.
Arjun has gone very still. Something in his chest is reorganizing itself around a sentence he didn't know he needed.
I thought I wanted the next thing because I wanted it.
The beat. He's talking to himself now, more than anyone else in the room.
But I think I wanted the next thing because as long as there's a next thing, I never have to ask if this, right now, is supposed to be enough. And if I ask that question, and the answer is yes, then I have to actually be here for my life, instead of just preparing for it.
That's the part that scares him. Not that nothing satisfies, that something might, and he'd have to stay and feel it instead of leaving for the next thing.
It's the part Brain's been protecting you from.
I thought I was protecting you from disappointment. I think I was protecting myself from stillness.
Brain says it like a confession it didn't know it was carrying.
It's not that nothing's ever enough. It's that I never stay in a room long enough to find out if it is.
Nobody answers that. Nobody needs to. It's the kind of sentence that finishes the conversation on its own. Weeks later, same apartment, same couch. The photo finally level. Brain has a new candidate already lined up. A bigger place, 2 neighborhoods over. Old habits don't leave quietly just because they've been named.
We could look at it. Just look.
Not tonight.
It's a good listing.
I'm not saying never. I'm saying not tonight.
He doesn't say it to win an argument. He says it the way you put down something heavy you've been carrying, out of habit, not necessity. He sits on the couch, doesn't reach for his phone, doesn't open the listing Brain is quietly suggesting in the background. He just stays, in the room he already has. The light is doing the thing it does at this hour. Gold, low, moving slowly across the floor, like it has nowhere else to be either.
This is nice.
He says it to no one, just to hear it exist outside his head. Same words as the day he got the key. Different person saying. Outside, a bus passes. Ordinary sound. He doesn't reach for the next thing. He just lets the sound finish. Brain stays quiet too for once. Not defeated, just resting. Maybe that's its own kind of small transformation.
Same room, different man.